Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about some of the new polls that have come out for the 2020 general election between incumbent Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden. And these new polls, they are not looking too good for the incumbent. As you can see, Donald Trump is polling almost 10 points behind the Vice President. He has always been polling behind Joe Biden during the entire election cycle so far. However, since the beginning of June and the beginning of the riots that have been going on all around the country and are still going on, Biden's lead has increased significantly since the beginning of June. He's gone from plus 6.2 all the way up to plus 9.6 as of mid-July. As you can see, Biden leads in every single poll, left-leaning poll, right-leaning poll. He leads by 9 to 10 points in every single one of them, with some outlier polls as well. And then now I just want to take a look at Trump's popularity at the moment. I think this is not good for the Trump campaign. As you can see, his disapproval is at 55.8, and his approval rating is at 40.1%, which means that his net approval rating is 15.7%, and this is not good for the president. As you can see, this is almost the worst approval he has had during his entire presidency, 55.8, his highest being around 57.4, I believe, just around there, around December of 2017, his approval rating was the worst, and he is slowly, he's slowly getting back to where he was in December 2017, and this is not good as we are only 4 months away from the election. And as you can see here, at the beginning of this coronavirus pandemic, his disapproval rating actually dropped down below 50% for the first time since February 2017, when he when he was sworn into office. And so this is his approval rating is not looking very good for him. However, that doesn't really mean anything if we don't compare it to presidents in the past. So I just want to compare Donald Trump's approval rating to those before him, comparing them to Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton. So as you can see, this is their approval rating after 4 years, not 8 years. So we can see their approval rating when they were about to get reelected. So of course, Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton all got reelected. Barack Obama had around a 50 to 53% approval rating when he got reelected. This is much better than Trump at 40.1. As you can see, Barack Obama was underwater here at 47.2%, where Trump is at 40.1% at the moment. However, his approval rating did go up. However, with the coronavirus pandemic escalating, I do not see this happening for Trump. And Bush, as you can see, they were pretty close there around a couple months ago. However, now, Donald Trump is 5 points below where Bush was in 2004. However, Bush's approval rating did manage to go up a little bit too, to 48.5%. And if you look here, Donald Trump has not hit 48% since the beginning. Actually, no, he has never hit 45%. His highest approval rating is 45.5% at the beginning of his presidency. So, Donald Trump's best approval rating so far is worse than what Bush had when he, when he won his re-election in 2004. Now, looking at Bill Clinton's approval rating, his approval rating was pretty significantly better than George W. Bush and Barack Obama's. Bill Clinton had 53.8%, which is around, over 13 points higher than Trump's approval rating at the moment. However, Bill Clinton did win at 378 electoral votes, I believe. So, you could say that is a landslide victory for Clinton. However, Trump does not need that. Trump does not need to win a landslide to win his re-election. He just needs to win. However, being 15 points down, it's not looking too good for Donald Trump, as I think that Trump's approval rating will continue to fall. And then now I just want to look at a president who actually did not win his re-election. And for this, I'm actually going to look at net approval because I think that that's better. See how many people are going to vote for and against you. So as you can see, Trump's net approval is worse than basically, any president in history since polling has began. And as you can see, compared to George H.W. Bush, it's not looking too good for Trump. He is 6 points higher than Bush at the moment. I mean, 3 points higher than what Bush was. During this point in his election, in his presidency. However, he did manage to bring it up a little. However, I do not think that this is too accurate. But Bush did get trounced in the 1992 election against Bill Clinton. And so, yeah, things are not looking too good if we compare Trump's to George H.W. Bush's. And then, of course, if we compare it to Ronald Reagan, 1984, he had the largest victory in American history, 525 electoral votes, only losing one state. And, Reagan was at plus 18, and currently Trump is at negative 15.7. And now I just want to take a look at Trump's compared to Jimmy Carter's. Trump at negative 15, Trump at negative 15, and Carter at negative 26. So this is looking I guess a little more positive for Trump. He's about 11 points better than Carter was during his point in this election. However, he did lose in a landslide to Ronald Reagan. So that's not it's still not good for Trump because Carter just lost by such a large margin. He lost by, 300, 400 electoral votes in 1982. So, Donald Trump's approval rating at the moment is lower than, any of the recent presidents who has won re-election. However, his approval rating is higher than all of the presidents in recent history who have lost re-election. So, I could see, his approval rating, helping him, I could see it going both ways just based on approval rating, because, he is between the presidents who have won re-election and lost re-election. So, but it's not looking good for him. Having a 40% approval rating will not win you the election. However, his 40% approval rating, it is better than what he had in 2016. As you can see, in 2020, he now has a 40% approval rating, compared to 2016, where he only had a 38% approval rating. However, if you take a look at this, in 2016, Hillary Clinton had a negative 12 net approval rating, compared to Trump with negative 21. However, now, Trump has a negative 12 approval rating compared to Joe Biden's negative 2.5% net approval rating, favorability rating. And basically, this is just, Biden is just so much more popular than Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton ever were. So I think I think Biden's popularity really is, the worst thing for the Trump campaign. However, it is, his favorability did improve from 2016, so this is a positive sign. However, if we were to look specifically at all of these swing states, Trump, it's not looking good for him. Biden's lead has increased in Wisconsin all the way up to 8.1%, higher than Hillary Clinton was ever. In the state of Michigan, he's up 9.7%. This would make Michigan a likely state. It wouldn't even be close. Of course, Trump won the state by less than 1%. So, Biden with a 10-point lead. That's a 10-point flip in favor of the Democratic Party. And then in the state of Pennsylvania, as you can see, is Biden's birth state. He's up 7.6%. If you look at Arizona, the state went to Trump in 2016 by over 2%, almost 3%. Biden leads 3 points. Arizona, becoming more and more blue in 2020 might be the first time a Democrat wins it since 1996. And then, of course, the crucial state of Florida, Biden up 6.3%. This is a big one. Florida is typically very close. However, Biden currently has a 6-point lead over the president. And North Carolina is really the last swing state I want to look at. He's up 3.2%. This state, not as likely to flip as Arizona or Florida. However, it is still pretty likely. And, I would bet my money on Biden flipping the state of North Carolina. So here I just plotted down the 2016 electoral map with the states that Hillary Clinton won in 2016. Hillary Clinton won 232, and I think that Joe Biden will almost definitely win all of these states. He's much more popular than Hillary Clinton ever was. Clinton had, if we look here, a negative 12 net approval rating, while Biden only has a negative 2.5. So Biden is 10 points more favorable than Hillary Clinton ever was. And so, if you look at all of these states here, he leads by, almost 10% in these 3 Rust Belt states. So that is, that already puts him over 278. Let's say if he was to lose Wisconsin, which is the most conservative out of these 3 states, he can just make it up with Arizona. He would win the election. If he lost Arizona, maybe if he won the state of Florida, he's leading by quite a bit there, or North Carolina. So there are just many different ways for Joe Biden to win the election. If you look at these states for Donald Trump, I'm just going to fill in all of these states. I'm going to assume that, Iowa, Texas, they're all going to go to Trump, as well as Ohio. And if you look at this, Trump would have to win basically almost all of these. He'd have to win Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. So as long as Biden wins, some big state like Florida and, basically any other swing state, Michigan or Wisconsin, he would win 270 electoral votes. So basically, there's just many more pathways to victory for Vice President Joe Biden than there are for Donald Trump, which is why I think that, at this point, it is Joe Biden's election to lose. So I would like to thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like as well as subscribing to my channel. That would be much appreciated, and I will see you in the next video.